All right. Good morning, guys. And can you check it what I completed there in the last session? Any idea? Right. I think so. We are discussing about differences between Java and others. That part we are discussing. Okay. Now tell me how many differences we completed so far? How many differences we completed so far? Two differences we completed, right? And third difference we have to start. What are the two differences we completed previously? First one is C and C++ are static programming languages, whereas Java is what? Dynamic programming language. Can you tell me what is the reason for it now? In C and C++ applications, memory will be allocated for primitive data types at what time? Their compilation time. So C and C++ are static programming languages. In the case of Java, that means Java is a dynamic programming language. In the case of Java, memory will be allocated for primitive data types at the runtime, not at compilation time. So Java is what? A dynamic programming language. That's okay, leave it. Next one is preprocessor is not required. Preprocessor is required in C and C++, whereas preprocessor is not required in Java. What is this preprocessor? Why this preprocessor is required? All the points I discussed already. Preprocessor location is what? In compilation, the first phase is what? No, preprocessor phase only. In compilation, the first phase is what? Preprocessor only. That's okay, fine. Next one is, what is the job of the preprocessor? If we come for the job of the preprocessor, answer is very clear. In C and C++, the complete predefined libraries existed in the form of header files. Yesterday.h, conio.h, math.h, and so on. To use this predefined library in C and C++ applications, we have to include these header files in the present C program. To include these header files in the present C program, we have to use hash include statement. Hash include yesterday.h, hash include conio.h, hash include math.h, and so on. Next one is, if we compile C program, C or C++ applications, what preprocessor will do? Preprocessor will recognize all the hash include statements. Preprocessor will take all the names of the header files. Preprocessor will search for them in the C software. If they are not existed, then preprocessor will give some error message. If they are existed, preprocessor will load these header files content to the memory. Loading predefined library at compilation time is called a static loading. So preprocessor is following static loading. In C and C++ applications, preprocessor is required in order to recognize hash include statements and in order to load header files content to the memory. Because of that reason, preprocessor is required. Leave this point here. Next one is why preprocessor is not required in Java. Why it is not required in Java? If you come for this point, no answer is very clear. In Java, the total predefined library was provided in the form of packages. If you want to include any package in our Java file, there we have to use import statement. Import java.io.store, import java.util.store, import java.sql.store. Like this, we are able to provide. Here, star is what? What is the star actually? Star is representing all classes and interfaces from the specified package. All classes and interfaces from the specified package. That's okay, fine. Next one is, after completion of this particular one, I have written a Java program where I have written import java.io.store, import java.util.store, import java.sql.store that I provided all the import statements. When I compile the program, compiler will recognize these import statements. Compiler will take the provided package names. When a compiler provides these package names, when compiler identifies these package names, compiler will search for these packages inside the C software. Compiler will search for these packages inside the C software. If they are not existed, compiler will raise an error. If they are existed, compiler will not raise any error. At the same time, compiler is not responsible for loading any package content to the memory. Okay, in Java, if compiler is not responsible for loading predefined library to the memory, then who is responsible to load predefined library to the memory? JVM at runtime. So JVM will load predefined library to the memory in the case of Java. So loading predefined library at runtime is called as which type of loading? Dynamic loading. So JVM is following dynamic loading. Java is supporting dynamic loading. Import statement is following dynamic loading. Now come to the conclusion. Preprocessor is not required in Java. Why it is not required in Java? In the case of Java, hash include statements are not available. Why hash include statements are not available? In the case of Java, header files are not existed. Why header files are not existed in the case of Java? In Java, the total predefined libraries existed in the form of packages. Because of that reason, header files are not available. Due to this reason, hash include statements are not existed. Due to this reason, what is not required here? Preprocessor is not required in the case of Java. Clarity or not? Up to these points we understood. Next, immediately I given one important interview question, guys. What was that important interview question I given there? Now tell me, what are the differences between hash include statement and import statement? These 2 points we understood clearly. Now tell me, what is the first difference here? I discussed it there clearly. What was the first difference here? I discussed it there. Hash include statement is existed in C and C++, whereas import statement is existed in Java. That is point number one. Hash include statement is able to include the predefined library which is available in the form of header files. But import statement is able to include the predefined library which is existed in the form of like what now? Packages. Next one is hash include statements are recognized by a preprocessor, but import statements are recognized by both the compiler and a JVM. Hash include statements are supporting static loading. Import statements are supporting dynamic loading. All right, sir. If you want to include more than one header file, there we have to write multiple hash include statements. But if you want to include more than one class or interface of a same package, single package, then it is sufficient to write only one import statement. Only one import statement is sufficient to get all classes and interfaces from the specified package. Yes, sir. All of you are getting clarity or not? Up to this point, we understood there. Next one, we started that another topic here. What was that another topic here we started there? Observe carefully. Right, sir. What was that another topic here we started there? Third point is C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what? Platform independent programming language. This is exactly the point now. All right. Before understanding C, C++, Java, whether they are platform dependent or platform independent, before that, first we have to understand when a programming language is platform dependent programming language and when a programming language is platform independent programming language, that we have to understand now. Understand my point here? When a programming language is platform dependent and when a programming language is platform independent, that we have to understand. Observe carefully. If any programming language, if any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system. Sorry, compilation and execution both must be on the same operating system. Please remember this. I think I've given wrong statement. Now I'm giving right statement. Observe carefully. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution both on the same operating system, then the programming language is what? Platform dependent programming language. Then what is platform independent programming language? If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system, then the programming language is what now? Platform independent programming language. Right, sir. Now tell me, what is the example for platform dependent programming language? No, C and C++ are the examples for platform dependent. What is the example for platform independent programming language? Java. That's okay. They are the 2 points here we have to understand. But now my point is what? How C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages. how C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages. Here we have to understand these points clearly. Right, sir. Now, observe carefully. I'm going to give some simple diagram. Try to observe this diagram now. Everybody, put more concentration to understand this particular content. First of all, I want to give the information as per the definition. After that, we'll move forward. Observe carefully. This is a C program. This is what a C program. .c extension is existed. Right. This is a C application. .c extension is available. All right, sir. Now here we are able to write some high-level code. C code, C language code here we have written. That's okay, fine. Come this side. Next one is what? Then after that, as per the definition, I want to compile this code. As per the definition, I want to compile this code. Now this is compilation process. Compilation. When we compile this code, now tell me guys, all of you now tell me, which file will be generated after compilation of the C program? .class or .exe? .exe files here we are getting. Now here this is like what? No, .exe. Observe carefully. Whenever we are getting .exe, then here we need to execute the .exe file or not. So here we have to execute that program. Now we need to go for like what? No, execution. This is like what? No, execution. Now I'm telling to you clearly, C programs are executed by a separate mission. That mission is called as like what? No, C engine. C engine will execute our program. When we execute our C program, automatically we are able to get some output. Here we are able to get some output. Observe carefully now. This is like what? No, output. This is output here we are getting. Okay, fine. Right, observe carefully. C and C++ are static, sorry, C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages. Okay. Now here what I am telling there, as C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, I must provide the same operating system for compilation and the same operating system for what now? Execution. Single operating system we have to provide it compilation and as well as like what now? Execution. Now here for example I want to use Windows operating system for compilation. As per the definition, I must use, as per the definition, I must use which operating system at the runtime? No, which operating system we have to use at runtime here? The same Windows operating system we have to use or not? Same Windows operating system we have to use or not? As per the definition, whatever the operating system we have used at compilation, same operating system we have to use at the runtime or not? At runtime we have to use the same operating system or not? Then only this programming language is what now? Platform dependent programming language. Clear or not? After the class, come to me. I'll explain clearly to you. Observe carefully. So here the point is what? Same operating system we provided for both compilation and execution clearly. For example, for our discussion point of view, I don't want to use the same Windows operating system at runtime. For example, if I use Linux operating system, for example, if I use Linux operating, that means for compilation I've used Windows operating system, and for execution what I have used there, no, Linux operating system. For example, understand it clearly. Then what is going to be happen? What is going to be happen? Observe carefully. Now I'll give information, you know, try to understand this clearly. Tell me, sir, C engine is installed on Linux operating system or not? Come on, everybody has to answer for my question. C engine is installed on which operating system? No, Linux operating system. Am I right or not? Okay, whenever the C engine is installed on Linux operating system, so C engine is able to understand only Linux representations. C engine, as it was installed on top of Linux operating system, it able to execute only Linux representations. Before that, I want to clarify one point. Observe carefully. From operating system to operating system, data representations are different. Data representations are varied. That mission code formations are varied. Same representations are not available in all the operating systems. Will you believe this point or not? Yeah, the point is what? From one operating system to another operating system, internal data representations are varied. Totally different representations are available. Clear? Now understand this point here, what I am telling there. C engine is installed on which operating system? Linux operating system. So it able to execute Linux representations. It able to execute what? No, Linux representations. Am I right or not? C engine is able to execute what? Linux representations. Am I right or not? How can you say it able to execute only Linux representations? No, that C engine is available on what? No, Linux operating system. That's why it able to understand, it able to execute only Linux representations. Okay, fine. Little bit come back. No, when I write C program, I tried to compile that C program on Windows operating system. Here, what file here we are getting, sir? Now tell me, .exe file we are getting or not? What is this .exe file actually? Observe carefully. We need to understand the nature of this .exe file. What exactly this .exe file? No, this .exe file, it contains, .exe file contains directly executable code. It contains what? Directly executable code. Now tell me, the .exe file contains directly executable code or not? The zeros and ones are available or not? That mission code is directly generated or not? That mission code is directly executable code or not? Okay. It contains directly executable code and observe carefully. It follows the operating system representations where we compiled C program. And which operating system we compiled C program? That operating system representations are existed in the generated .exe file. Come on, guys. Everybody has to understand. This is a key point now. .exe file is generated or not? Everybody respond for me. .exe file is generated or not? Yes, generated. What the .exe file contains actually? .exe file contains executable code directly. Executable code. But what is the nature of that executable code? That executable code follows the operating system representations where we compiled C program. That is this .exe file contains which representations are? .exe file contains which representations? Now tell me, Windows representations or not? Now this .exe file is a Windows represented .exe file. This .exe file is what now? Windows represented .exe file. Am I right or not? Okay, this .exe file is having Windows representations. This .exe file contains what? Windows representation. Clear or not? Observe carefully. If it is Windows represented .exe file, then in which operating system it will be executed? Now tell me. It is where it is possible to execute this Windows represented .exe file. In which operating system we are able to execute this Windows represented .exe file? To execute this Windows represented .exe file, again we require same Windows operating system at runtime or not? Observe carefully. Already this .exe file contains Windows representations. If we want to run this Windows represented .exe file, definitely we must require the same Windows operating system. Am I right or not? Now observe carefully. My .exe file is Windows represented .exe file, but my C engine is available on which operating system now? Linux operating system. If I give this Windows represented .exe file to C engine, which is on Linux operating system, is it possible for C engine to execute Windows represented .exe file? Come on, guys. Is it possible for C engine to execute Windows represented .exe file? No, it is not possible here. It is not possible. So we are not going to get any output here in this case now. Right, sir. Then if we want to execute our program, then what we have to do now? If we want to execute our program, then what we have to do? Observe carefully. If we want to execute our program, we have to change the operating system at runtime. We have to change the operating system at runtime. What operating system here we have to provide at runtime? Now tell me. To execute Windows represented .exe file, we must provide the same Windows operating system or not? The same Windows operating system here we have to provide or not? Then only we are able to execute our program clearly. Sir, are able to, all of you are following or not? Now tell me, by seeing this total scenario, what you can conclude, C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages or platform independent programming languages? Platform dependent programming languages. Why? Because C and C++ applications execution is depending on the operating system where we compiled the C program. Where we compiled our program, the same operating system we have to use for execution purpose. So this is the reason why C and C++ are what now? C and C++ are what now? Platform dependent programming languages. What, sir? What you are looking at me? All of you are following these points or not? I think your question may be same Windows operating system, in the sense, now here I want to use Windows 7, there I want to use Windows 8. This is your question, I think so, right? Right. Answer for that question is what? No. Even though what I'm telling there, here one Windows operating system, there other Windows operating system I want to use, but operating system is changed or not? Here the point is what? Same Windows operating system, same memory allocations. At compilation time only memory allocations are going on. And which operating system we compiled our C program? That means already memory allocations are done. In the case of C programming language, we must use the same Windows operating system for executing our application. Otherwise, same version in the sense exactly same piece, that's it, same piece we have to use, then all our program will be executed. Why? Because C and C++ are following static memory allocations or not? Static memory allocations, in the sense, memory was allocated at what time there? Compile time. Memory is allocated at what time there? Compilation time. If memory is allocated at compilation time, no, observe carefully, memory is allocated at compilation time, if I change operating system for runtime, automatically the total memory allocations are gone or not? Observe carefully. So because of that reason, even though same version, if you use runtime but different piece, same, see Windows 8 here, there also be Windows 10 here, there also be Windows 10, but different piece I'm using there, then automatically memory allocations are gone or not? Even though same version of operating system we have used now. That's why I'm telling there clearly, same piece we have to use for compilation and for execution, then only we are able to get our output clearly. But in the diagram I specified to you high level, Linux operating system I have taken for our discussion point of view, but strictly speaking, same operating system we have to use for both compilation and for execution clearly. Clear? All of you are getting clarity? Right, sir. People are still not digesting the content now. Even though you are not aware about C and C++, I'm explaining clearly what is the problem with the C and C++, why we need to go for Java. That is the main point here I'm discussing with you clearly. Right? Clear? Clear? Give some smile, sir, at least. Now it's okay, fine. Huh. Now tell me, what is platform independent programming language? Definition. I require definition now. What is platform independent programming language? If any programming language allows its applications to perform, compilation is on one operating system, execution is on another operating system, then the programming language is what? Platform independent programming language. Clear? Definition is clear? What is the example for it now? Java is an example for platform independent programming language. But here my concept is, why Java is a platform independent programming language? How Java is a platform independent programming language? Listen carefully. Next 15 minutes of time. Time is very, very important. Concept is very, very important. Now, previously we discussed about C and C++. Whether you understood it or not, that doesn't matter. But Java we have to understand. So next 15 minutes of time, complete attention is required. Everybody, complete attention is required. So put more concentration on my content now. I think my online people might be sleeping now. I'm giving information to you. Please wake up. Try to understand the content. Yes, sir. Am I right or not? Those who are attending in online, if you're sleeping, just wake up. Now sit properly and listen the content. Right. Let's move on to the how Java is a platform independent programming language. First of all, let me let me prepare the diagram as per the definition. Platform independent programming language. Let me prepare the diagram as per the definition. Right, sir. Observe carefully. This is Java program. This is Java application. If it is Java application, what is that extension, sir? Dot Java. That's fine. Now, whenever we are having dot Java, we need to compile the program or not? Definitely here we have to compile the program or not. So here we have to go for what now? Compilation. Then we have to go for what now? Compilation. Right, sir. Now, for compilation, we are going to use one operating system. I will confirm it later on. What is that operating system we are using? Now tell me, in the case of Java, when we compile our program, tell me here which files here we are able to get no? In the case of C and C++, .exe, .obj or something else. But in the case of Java, no confusion. In the case of Java, no confusion. Which files here we are getting no? Dot class files here we are getting, not .exe. In Java, very clear that only two files, only two types of files, .java, .class. Before compilation, .java. After compilation, .class. That's very clear. Okay, fine. Whenever we are getting dot class file, then I want to execute this dot class file multiple times. I want to execute this dot class files multiple times. Observe carefully, all of you know. Now here the point is like what I'm telling. No, one time I want to execute this program in other operating system, different operating systems. I will provide no. Now this is like what here execution process. This is execution process. For execution purpose, we have to use one operating system. What is that operating system? I'll confirm that later on. When we execute this Java program, there we are able to get some outputs. There we are able to get what now? Some outputs here we are able to get when we execute that program here. This is like what now? Output. Okay. Then we have to start execution process for this. Okay, fine. Now this is one-time execution. Similarly, I want to execute the same Java program multiple times. This is second time execution. This is a third time execution. Then this is fourth time execution. We can observe this clearly. Tell me guys, overall, from this diagram now tell me how many times we compiled our Java program? Only one time we compiled. But how many times we are trying to execute this program there? 4 times we are trying to execute it now. Okay, fine. Now I'm confirming operating systems what I have used here. As per the definition, compilation is going on in one operating system and execution is going to be performed in a different operating system. That is the meaning of platform independent programming language. Now for compilation, what I'm using there, Windows operating system. Now for execution purpose, I'm using like what now, Linux operating system. Another time, for the sake of execution, we are using like what now, Unix operating system. For the sake of another time, for the sake of like what now, Mac operating system. Maybe fourth time, I'm going to use the same Windows operating system. Same Windows operating system I've used it at fourth time. Still I want to stand on my statement. Java is platform independent programming language only. Even though I've used Windows for compilation and Windows for execution. Okay, observe carefully. All of you guys, observe carefully. Listen carefully. When I compile our Java program on Windows operating system, what file here we are getting, sir? Dot class file we are getting. Dot class file contains one type of code. Dot class file contains one type of code. What is that code actually? What is that? No, it contains bytecode. Dot class files contains what? Bytecode. What is this bytecode actually? What is this bytecode actually? It is not directly executable code. It is not directly executable code. Okay, it is not directly executable code. So what is this code actually? It is an intermediate code. This is what? An intermediate code. Guys, observe carefully. .exe file we have seen previously. .exe file contains directly executable code and it follows the operating system representations where we compile. But what is the nature of the dot class file in Java? Dot class file contains a byte code, not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code. It is an intermediate code, and this is important, very very important. And it does not follow any operating system representations, including Windows. It's not following any representations, any operating system representations, including Windows. Why I'm stressing on Windows now? We have used Windows operating system for compilation. Even though we compiled Java program on Windows operating system, still dot class file does not follow that Windows representations. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Now tell me here, what was the point here I specified to you? I compiled my Java program on Windows operating system. There we are getting dot class file. What is the nature of the dot class file? Dot class file contains a byte code. Digest these points now. These points are very much required for our applications. Dot class files contains a byte code. It is not directly executable code. This is what now? It is an intermediate code. Intermediate code, not source code, not executable code. It is an intermediate code and it does not follow any operating system representations, including Windows. So this code is a neutral code or not? This code is a neutral to operating systems or not? Okay, can I say dot class file is a platform independent file or not? .exe file, platform dependent. .exe file, platform dependent. But dot class file is an independent to the operating systems or not? Okay, please remember this point here. This is one part. And now observe carefully. How many times we are executing our program, sir? 4 times we are executing our program. Am I right or not? Now tell me, first time on which operating system? No, Linux. Second time on which operating system? Unix. Third time on which operating system? Mac. Next time is on which operating system? Windows. But here the point is what? If we want to execute any code in a Linux operating system, that executable code must have Linux representations. If we want to execute anything on Unix operating system, then that executable code must have Unix representations. If you want to execute this bytecode on a Mac operating system, that bytecode must have Mac representations. If you want to execute that bytecode on Windows operating system, that bytecode must have Windows representations. Then only we are able to execute that respective code. Come again, all of you are following my point or not? First of all, tell me what is the nature of this dot class file? Dot class file contains which code? No, byte code. It is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code, and it does not follow. It does not follow any of the operating system representations, including what? Windows. Even though we compiled program on Java, Windows operating system, the generated dot class file does not have Windows representations. Clear or not? Now when we come for this execution engine, what we identified there? Now if you want to execute program on Linux operating system, that bytecode must have which representations? No, Linux representations. If you want to execute our code on Unix operating system, that bytecode must have Unix representations. If you want to execute that bytecode on a Mac operating system, that bytecode must have Mac representations. Similarly, that bytecode must have what? No, Windows representations if you want to execute under Windows operating system. Let me explain. Okay, fine. This is my requirement. Here we provided neutral bytecode. Neutral bytecode, if we give this neutral bytecode to this Linux operating system, is it possible to execute this neutral bytecode now? If we give this neutral bytecode to Linux operating system, is it possible to execute that neutral bytecode in Linux environment? Possible or not possible? Not possible. Why? Because this is what intermediate code. It doesn't follow any operating system representations. Am I right or not? But here execution process required which representations can know? Linux representations. Am I right or not? Okay. Similarly, is it possible to execute this dot class file directly on this Unix operating system? Possible or not possible? Not possible. Is it possible to execute this neutral bytecode on Mac operating system? Not possible. Is it possible to execute this dot class file on this Windows operating system? Not possible. But if I want to make it is possible, then what I have to do? I want to make it is possible. Not possible. Directly it is not possible to execute it. But I want to make it is possible. If you want to make it is possible, then what we have to do there? Simply, we need a converter. We need a converter to translate our bytecode from neutral nature to the local operating system representations or not. We have to convert our bytecode from neutral nature to the local operating system representations or not. So what we require here? Here we require converter or not? Right, where we require converter? No, exactly here we require converter. Exactly here we need what? No, converter. So we need to provide that conversion mechanism or not? All right, so now let me provide this conversion mechanism. Now here we require conversion mechanism. Here we require conversion mechanism. Then here we require conversion mechanism, and again here we require what? No, conversion mechanism. Observe carefully. Here what we require there, this is like what? No, converter. Instead of saying converter, we can say translation. Instead of saying conversion, we can say like what? No, translation. Both are same, no issues. Now here conversion. Then this is like what? Next one here, conversion. Here also conversion we required. Now here also what we require? A conversion here. Observe carefully. If these conversions are existed, then what I am telling there, this neutral bytecode will be given to this converter. Neutral bytecode will be given to this particular converter. Then what this converter will do, sir? Now tell me. This converter will convert this bytecode from neutral nature to local operating system representations. That is what? Linux representations. Similarly, if we give this dot class file to this converter will convert this bytecode from neutral nature to Unix operating system representations. That Unix operating system representations are given to this execution process. This execution process will execute that code. There we are getting some output. If we give this dot class file to this converter will convert that neutral bytecode to Mac operating system representations. Then Mac operating system representations are executed by this execution process, and we are able to get some outputs clearly. Right, sir. Now the same scenario is going on in the last case also. What was that last case now? This dot class file we are given to this converter. It able to convert that bytecode from neutral nature to Windows representations. That Windows represented bytecode will be given to this execution process. This execution process will execute that Windows represented bytecode, and it able to give some outputs clearly. Hello, if you're following or not? Right. Now observe carefully. Here converters are required or not? Translators are required or not? The translators are translating our code from neutral nature to local operating system representations. Whatever the code we converted from neutral bytecode to local operating system code, that local operating system represented code is nothing but a native code. Native code. NATIVE, native code. Whatever the code we converted through converters with respect to the local operating system, that code is nothing but what? No, native code. Tell me, all of you now, tell me, what is the job of this converter here? What exactly the job of the converter? Job of the converter is what? Translating bytecode to native code or not? Translating bytecode to native code or not? Translating our program from bytecode to native code or not? Then what is this native code actually? Native code is a bytecode with the operating system representations. Native code is a bytecode with the local operating system representations. Am I right or not? No response, guys. Right, sir. Okay, fine. Finally, with the help of this converter, we executed our program. We are able to get some outputs. But here my question is, how we are able to get these converters to execute our programs? How we are able to get these converters? Observe carefully. These conversion mechanism and execution mechanism, this conversion mechanism and execution mechanism, both are provided by Sun Microsystems in a single device. This conversion mechanism and execution mechanism both are provided by Sun Microsystems in a single device. Right, sir. Conversion mechanism and execution mechanism both are provided by Sun Microsystems in a single device. That device name is called as JVM. The device name is what? JVM. What is this JVM, sir? Now tell me. Java Virtual Machine. What is this JVM now? Java Virtual Machine. Clear or not? JVM is what? Java Virtual Machine. I'm asking one question to all of you guys. Now tell me, what exactly the responsibilities of Java in the Java programs execution? What exactly the responsibilities of the JVM while executing Java program? Two responsibilities are available for JVM. What are the two responsibilities? No, conversion as well as what? No, execution, translation and executing. Translating bytecode to the native code and executing that native code. Translating bytecode to native code and executing that native code. This is what exactly the responsibilities of JVM. Yes, sir. We have to remember forever this statement now. Throughout our life, we have to remember the statements here. What JVM will do while executing Java programs? No, two things that JVM is able to do. What are the two things? No, translating our bytecode to native code and executing that native code. Here, what is native code? What is native code? Native code is a bytecode with a local operating system representations. Bytecode with a local operating system representations. It means that directly executable code. Native code is what code? No, executable code. Local operating system representations of this bytecode. Bytecode with local operating system representations is called as like what? No, native code. That native code must be executed by JVM clearly. Right. I'm asking one more question. Try to answer for my question, all of you guys. Everybody, put more concentration here. How many times we compiled our program? One time we compiled our program. Nice. How many times we executed this program? 4 times we execute our program. Am I right or not? Tell me on which operating systems we execute our program now. One time is on Linux operating system, another time is on Unix operating system, another time is on Mac. Next one is what? Windows operating system. These many times here we execute our program. Clear? 4 times we execute our program. Clear or not? Now my question is, how many JVMs here we have used for 4 times execution? Is that one JVM or 4 JVMs? One JVM or 4 JVMs? Please respond for me clearly. One JVM or 4 JVMs? One or four? One or four? How many of you are saying one JVM? Please raise your hands now. Nice. How many of you are saying 4 JVMs? Right, 50-50 percentages now. Right, anyway, answer for this question is 4 JVMs, not 1 JVM. 4 JVMs, not 1 JVM. I will give some reasons also. Not 1 JVM, 4 JVMs here we have used. Why, sir? Why 4 JVMs? Why not 1 JVM? If you observe this point, no, listen my statement now. I'll give one conclusion. Now listen carefully. Java programming language is platform independent programming language. Java programming language is a platform independent programming language, but JVM is a platform dependent. Java is a platform independent programming language, but JVM is what? Platform dependent. If JVM is platform dependent, how can we use the same JVM in all the platforms? No. This JVM is as per Linux or not? This JVM is as per Unix or not? This JVM is as per Mac or not? This JVM is as per Windows or not? Observe the funny thing here. We compiled our program on Windows operating system. We are trying to execute the program on the same Windows operating system, but still we require JVM or not? Still we require conversion mechanism or not? Understand my point here clearly, no? So here JVM is platform dependent or platform independent? Platform dependent. JVM is what? No, platform dependent, but Java is what? No, platform independent programming language. More clearly I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Whatever the program I've written, that is platform independent. I can compile my program in one operating system. I can execute the same program in other operating systems. That is platform independent program. Java program is platform independent. But JVM is a software. JVM is a tool inside the Java software. That is what? No, platform dependent. JVM is platform dependent. Observe carefully. If we want to perform compilation of our program, we require Java software here. For compiling Java program, we require Java software. Inside the Java software, Java compiler is available. So compilation we performed on Windows operating system. Okay, Windows related JVM or compiler is required. That's okay, fine. If I want to execute my program on Linux, no, there also I require Java software. Here also I require Java software where Linux related JVM will come. Here also I need to install Java software, but here Unix related Java JVM must require. Here also we need to install Java software here, Mac no, where Mac related JVM will come. In the last one, there also I need to install Java software. There what we are able to get no, Windows related JVM is able to, we are able to get no. That means what is the meaning of it no? By this what I am telling the clarity, Java is a platform independent programming language. But JVM is what no? Platform dependent. JVM is what no? Platform dependent. One more conclusion, please remember this. Java is a platform independent programming language, but JVM is platform dependent. Not only JVM, the total Java software is a platform dependent. Not only JVM, the total Java software is platform dependent. Observe carefully. JVM is a part of the Java software or not? Java compiler is a part of the Java software or not? Like this, all the Java software tools are the part of the Java software or not? Once the JVM is part of the Java software, if JVM is platform dependent, the total Java software must be what? Platform dependent or not? Tell me guys, platform dependent or not? Okay, still some of you are not believing, sir, my statement now. Some face are still with the question mark. Okay, I will show some other proof. It is a challenge for me. I need to prove it. Ready? Ready for it? I want to download Java software. For example, Java 6 version I want to download. Java 6 download. For example, I want to download it. A number of websites are available. Just let me open this one. Java archive downloads. I want to open it. Observe carefully. I want to download my Java software. All these links are like or not downloadable links, but these links are provided as per the operating system or not. First, Linux operating system related products. Solaris. Next one is what no? Windows. Next again here what no? Linux. And next one is what no? Some other Windows. And now tell me, the Java softwares are provided as per the operating system specification or not? As per the operating system specific or not? Just think a minute about this point. No, if Java software is a platform independent, why they are providing this operating system specifications here? If Java software is a platform independent, they have to provide only one link for all the software for all the operating systems or not? Only one downloadable software of Java for all the operating systems or not? But here for each and every operating system, they provided one separate downloadable link or not? That means what is the meaning of it? No, Java software is on Windows is different. Java software on Linux is different. Java software on Unix is different. That means Java software is as per the operating systems or not? No response, guys. So by this, what is the conclusion here? Now tell me, what is the conclusion from this? No, Java software is what? Platform dependent or platform independent? Platform dependent. But Java programming language is what? Platform independent. So the conclusion is what? Java programming language is platform independent, but Java software is what? No, platform dependent. That's the proof. It's not my own information. I have not created this page now. This page was provided by Aracle Corporation. Aracle people have given the total Java software download is as per the operating systems. No, so there itself we can understand. Java software is a platform dependent. Understand my point? For example, if I click on this, particular link, Java software will be downloaded. Am I right or not? But inside this Java software, which compiler will come, which JVM will come? No, Solaris compiler, Solaris JVM will come. That means Solaris based compiler, Solaris based JVM will come. For example, if I click on some other, might be some other link here. Some other link is what? Windows related link. If I click there, if I click on this Windows related link, for example, here Windows operating system is available. Windows related link, if I click there, Windows related Java software will be downloaded. In that Windows related Java software, what we are having there now, Windows related compiler is available. Windows related JVM will come here automatically. Okay, fine. I will ask one more question. Now try to understand this now. Before downloading Java software, first we have to confirm which operating system we are having in our laptop. First, we have to confirm which operating system we are having in our laptop. What operating system we are having in our system, first we have to confirm that. As per that operating system only, we have to download the respective Java software. For example, in my system, Windows operating system is available. So from this website, I have to download which Java version there know, which Java software, Windows related Java software only. For example, my operating system is Windows operating system. My operating system is Windows operating system. For example, if I download a Linux-based Java software from internet, I downloaded Linux-based Java software from internet, but my operating system is what? Windows operating system. Is it possible to install Linux-based Java software on Windows operating system? Come on, guys, you have to answer for my question. Is it possible to install Linux-based Java software on my Windows operating system? No, not at all possible. Internally, architectural level differences are coming. Internal representations point of view, differences are coming. So it is not possible to install Linux-based Java software on our Windows operating system. Points are clear or not? Right, sir. This is the reason why Java software is a platform dependent, whereas Java programming language is what now? Platform independent programming language. Clear, guys? All of you are getting clarity on my statements now? All of you are getting clarity on my statements now? All right, sir. Now, here I want to ask one interview question now. I will ask one interview question. Everybody has to respond for my interview question. Ready for it? Right, sir. What is my interview question? Understand it clearly. What is my interview question? What are the differences between .exe file and .class file? .exe file and .class file. What are the differences between .exe file and .class file? Two minutes of time I will give to you. Just think about the answer for this question. This is damn sure interview question for the freshers. If you go for freshers there, yeah, when we provide C, C++, Java in our resume, definitely there is a chance to ask this question by that interviewer to you. So just 2 minutes of time. Already you know that. What is .exe file and what is .class file, that we already understand. Even I stressed some points already while explaining this .exe file and .class file. Just recollect all these points now. Okay, now tell me what is the first point here now, where these two things are existed, guys. Tell me, .exe files are existed in C and C++. Nice. .exe files are existed in C and C++. But .class files are existed in Java. .class files are existed in what? Java. Okay, that is the first difference here we understood. Okay, that's okay, good, common. Second one is what they are having, what they contains actually. Now tell me, .exe files contains what? .exe files contains a directly executable code. Am I right or not? .exe file contains a directly executable code. But whereas .class files contains what? Contains what? Bytecode. Contains a bytecode. What is this bytecode? No, is it directly executable code or not executable code? Not executable code. It is not directly executable code. It is not directly executable code. That's okay, fine. Now point number 3, observe carefully. Platform dependent or platform independent? Which file is platform dependent and which file is platform independent? No. .exe files are platform dependent. On which operating system that C program is compiled, its dependency is available in the respective .exe file. But whereas .class files are platform. What is that platform? Platform independent. Why? Because it contains a bytecode. Bytecode is a neutral to all the operating systems. Bytecode is not compatible with any other operating systems. Bytecode is neutral to all the other operating systems clearly. This is one point, sir. Next, one more point in the relative comparison between dot class and dot exe. Simple, common sense related point I'm asking, now try to answer for it. Theoretical point only. In our systems, most of the times you might be seeing viruses. Sir, am I right or not? Viruses you might be seeing. Tell me, sir, majority of the cases, viruses related files are coming in the form of what? .exe or .class? Majority of the viruses related files are like what now? .exe. Am I right or not? .exe. Have you seen any virus related file in the form of .class file? No. No, maximum we never seen any virus related file in the form of like what no .class file. But majority of the viruses are coming in the form of what no .exe file. Now tell me, if it is information, tell me the conclusion. Which files are more secured and which files are not secured? .exe files are what? .exe files are not providing security, but whereas .class files are providing more security or not? Come on, guys. Then what is that fourth difference here? .exe files are providing lesser security. Lesser security. Of course, security might be existed, but it is very less. Lesser security. Whereas .class files, .class files are providing, .class files are providing more security. .class files are providing more security. So finally, four differences here we understood clearly. What are these four differences here we understood, sir? Now tell me. First one is what? .exe files are existed in C and C++, whereas .class files are existed in Java. Then what is the second point here? .exe files contains directly executable code, whereas .class files contains bytecode. It is not directly executable code. Next one is what? .exe files are platform dependent, whereas .class files are platform independent. .exe files are providing less security, whereas .class files are providing more security. That's it, guys. Now this total difference is completed. All of you are getting clarity, right? Just can I give one more time the total overview? Just 1 minute of time, 1 minute of the total brush up. Can I give that about this particular point here? Okay, everybody follow along with me. Everybody follow along with me. I will ask some questions to you. You have to answer for my questions, right? First of all, what is the title here I provided, sir? Now tell me, what was the title here I've given there? C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what? Platform independent programming language. Nice, we understood this point. First of all, tell me, what is platform dependent programming language? I need answer, exact definition I required here. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution on the same operating system, then that programming language is what? Platform dependent programming language. Tell me, what is platform independent programming language? If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on one operating system, execution is on another operating system, then the programming language is what? Platform independent programming language. Tell me the example for platform dependent programming languages. C and C++. Tell me the examples for platform independent programming languages now. Java, Python. Okay, no problem. Java, Python. In Java, JVM is available. In Python, PVM is available. In Python, PVM, Python virtual machine. In Java, Java virtual machine. That's it. Okay, fine. Now, how can you say C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages? No, your answer is very clear. If you compile C program on Windows operating system, .exe file will be generated, which contains directly executable code, and it has Windows representations. If you want to execute this Windows represented executable code, we must use the same Windows operating system at runtime. Otherwise, that program will not be executed clearly. So here, what we have to do now? Initially, we provided Linux operating system. On Linux operating system, Windows representations are not going to be executed. Because of that reason, we provided the same Windows operating system for our execution as we compiled our program on Windows operating system. That's okay, fine. How can you say Java is a platform independent programming language? No. Here the point is what? When we compile our Java program on Windows operating system, there automatically .class files are generated. What is the nature of the .class files? .class files contains bytecode, it does not, it is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code, and it does not follow any operating system representations, including Windows. Why I'm stressing on Windows? No, there only we compiled our Java program. Even though we compiled Java program on Windows operating system, the dot class file doesn't have Windows representations. It's a neutral bytecode. But here the question is what? If you want to execute this bytecode on any of the operating system, that bytecode must be converted to local operating system representations. So if you want to execute this neutral bytecode on any of the operating system, we need some converter. We need some converter. As per the context, here we have taken 4 times execution on different operating systems. So 4 times converters here we required. So first converter is converting bytecode to the Linux representations. Second converter is converting that bytecode to the Unix representations. And third converter is converting the bytecode to the Mac representations. Fourth converter is converting the bytecode to the Windows representations. Even though we compile our program on Windows operating system, again if you want to execute the same program on Windows operating system, again we require a converter. Separate converter is required clearly. Got it or not? Now here, how these converters are provided by Sun Microsystems actually? Sun Microsystems has provided this total conversion mechanism and execution mechanism, conversion mechanism and execution mechanism as a single component. That single component is called as what? JVM. What is that JVM? No, Java Virtual Machine. Here we one time we compile our program, 4 times we execute our program. It means that how 4 times we execute our program there for all the execution is a single JVM we have used or 4 JVMs we have used here. 4 JVMs we have used here. Why? Because Java programming language is platform independent programming language, but JVM is what? Platform dependent. Not only JVM, the total Java software is what? Platform dependent. Then after that we have asked one important interview question. What is that question here? What are the differences between .exe file and a .class file? .exe files are existed in C and C++. .class files are existed in Java. .exe files contains directly executable code, whereas .class files contains bytecode. It is not directly executable code. .exe files are platform dependent. .class files are platform independent. .exe files are providing less security, whereas .class files are providing more security. The total information. In which way I given the total information, you have to give the same tempo, same information to the interware. If you give this total information to that interware will satisfy and interware will understand you are very strong in Java, then definitely will give job to you. When interviewer is asking question, how can you say C and C++ are platform dependent? How Java is platform independent? If this question is coming from interviewer, if you are unable to open your mouth, if you are getting sweatings top to bottom, then interviewer will understand you are totally not at all suitable for this company. You are totally low at Java. You are not aware about Java. Platform dependency, platform independence is a basic concepts in Java. At basic concepts, if you are unable to give the information, how that interviewer is going to select you in the respective interview? No, sir, got it or not? So definitely it is not possible. See, understand the situation of that interviewer. Try to get an opportunity to act as an active person in front of that interviewer. At the same time, don't use Balakrishna dialogues to that interviewer. No, cinema dialogues are not suitable in front of that interviewer. I can give one example. It may be useful for you. Actually, when I was in MTech, nearly almost all 45 to 50 number of companies I have there. At JNT University, I did my MTech. I completed my MTech there. Nearly 45 to 50 companies visited. Almost all I was failure up to 14 companies. And 15th company only I got job. My 15th company is SCL Technologies. Up to that 14 companies I attended for interviews. I attended for the things now, but I was not selected there. I was a rejected person all the up to 14 companies. By the time I was very good at technology, I was very good at communication. I was very good at academics also. In my MTech, nearly I got 87%. But what is the use of it? 14 companies have rejected me. 15th company has selected me. There, one situation I can give, I will share. On that SCL interview, what happened? By the experience of these 14 companies, I was disappointed actually. I was in depression actually. Then I went to the written test with the mode of like what? No, we used to write the written test, but we will not be selected. With that model, I went for the written test. Luckily, I cleared that written test. In the list of the selected students, myself is the first name. Okay, technical round was happened. I went to the technical round. There, interviewer has asked questions on C++, but I am giving answers in Java. By the time itself, I am teaching Java there. He asked questions on C++, but I give answers in Java. Why? Because both are object-oriented programming languages only. Okay, fine. There also I thought of it. All interviews are going on like this on up to 14 interviews. No, I will not be selected. My fate is not there. Then when I came outside, when they announced the total selected list, no, again myself is the first person. The remaining round is what HR round only. But in the technical interview, what happened? From MTech, from all branches of MTech, computer science and software engineering and electronics and electrical, from all branches of MTech, finally 35 members are selected. 35 members are selected from technical interview. All branches of MTech. Luckily, what I seen there, HCL Technologies didn't selected BTech people and MCA people. They selected only MTech people. I don't know what is the reason for it. At my time, in my interview, nearly all MTech people are selected. Remaining people are not selected. What I thought there, all BTech students are selected earlierly in all companies. No, 14 companies are rejected as now. Meanwhile, all BTech people might be selected, MCA people might be selected. We are the scrap we remaining there. Observe carefully. Okay, only these people are selected. Only MTech people, 35 members were selected, promoted for HR round. Okay, we went to that HR round. Casually, 4 or 5 questions they have asked there. Some other time I will talk about it. Which questions they have asked? No, they have asked 4 or 5 questions. No, I given clear-cut information. Lucky answers are given. Unfortunately, finally I was selected there. Out of 35 members went for that HR round. Out of 34 members, 35 members, 34 members were selected. One girl was not selected. Of course, she is not close to me. She is enemy to me in my class. She is crying. At morning 9 o'clock, we went to that campus interview. Night to 10 o'clock, they declared the results, selected students. Out of 35 members, 34 members were selected, but one girl was not selected. She is crying in outside of the room. She is my classmate. All my classmates gone. Only myself or two other members there, and she is crying in outside. She sat there and she is crying. Then okay, fine. Even though she is not close to me, but she is my classmate. At least she is alone now. I have to take care about her or not. Then I went to her. Just I asked to her, hey, don't worry. Then this is only HCL Technologies in the next queue. Some other companies are coming. Don't worry for that. Why you feel much about it? Leave it. Some other company is waiting for you. Don't worry. Like that, I'm telling that information. Okay. Then after having some cool words to her, and she's okay now. She's set right. And okay, now she's in normal condition. After that, I asked to her, Are why you are not selected? You are very good at academics, no? You had very good percentage. Even after me, you are only the topper. But why you are not selected? What happened in your interview? Casually, I asked to her, what question you got in that interview? Then she replied to me, my question is very simple, but I don't know why I'm not selected. I asked her, what is your question? She replied to me, what do you know about HCL Technologies? This is a question that interviewer has asked to her. Then immediately I asked her, what do you reply for that question? She has given information like what? No. HCL is not much good company. HCL is a normal company only. Actually, I'm preparing for Google, IBM, or Oracle, this kind of companies. They will come in the next week, no? For trial purpose, I came for this HCL Technologies actually, but I'm not much interested about this one. If you take me, it's ever good. Your fate. But I'm preparing for some other company. She has given this type of answer to that interviewer. Now tell me, if you are the HR in a company, if any student is giving this type of information to you, will you select that person? Will you select that person? At least this is minimum common sense or not? That is the situation. If we talk bad about the company in front of that employee, how that employee is going to select this person then? So what is the story? What is the overall? What is the conclusion for this story? What I am telling to all of you? Don't talk unnecessary things in front of that interviewer in our interviews. Don't have loose talk with that interviewer. Once you appear for an interview for a company, every time we have to talk positive about that company only. Don't degrade that company in front of that employee. First of all, think. You need to have minimum common sense. That interviewer is the employee of that company. If you talk bad about that company, automatically what you are doing there, you are downing that employee also directly. Okay, then internal I thought of it, the same punishment that interviewer has given there, might be it is very good punishment, but she must know what is the problem there. Then immediately I said to her, you should not talk like that. But unfortunately, the situation was happened. Try for other companies there. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? So in front of that interviewer, your character, and character in the sense your attitude must be important. Two things I can say. One is what? Don't have loose tongue with that interviewer. Don't say unnecessary information to that interviewer. What interviewer is asking, what you are giving, it must be relative. If interviewer is asking one question, so for example, interviewer may ask you, tell me something about you. Maximum we have to give your information only. Don't talk about your business and all these things. No. If you talk about your businesses, my father is having some mines business. If you talk like that, interviewer will say, go and do your business there. Who required your businesses now? Here we are appearing for interview for getting job only. So tell me about, in the sense, your information, your profile information, your academic career, or your fascination. Then about you we have to say. Your father is having 100 crores of rupees. Who required that? Who will listen that? That's why I'm telling to you, your information must be very much clear, pretty clear in front of that interviewer. Don't have loose strings and don't go for unnecessary data to that interviewer. Because of this reason, I lost my job in IBM. Actually, my brother is working with IBM. Durga sir is working with IBM by the time. IBM is a 14th interview actually. I went to that company in a HR round. Interviewer has asked to me the same question. What do you know about IBM? Please tell me the information now. Then what I said there, I know everything about IBM. My brother is working in the same IBM. Every day night, my brother is coming to me along with me. He opened the laptop, he used to do the work. Along with my brother, myself was in sometimes I used to do the work. I give him this type of information. But who will allow me? Myself is not authorized person to do work at IBM. But I said to him, along with my brother, I used to do some work in IBM. Is an insecure problem or not? That security is not available or not? Some unauthorized person is accessing that IBM system or not? It will not be affected to me. It will be affected to my brother also. Because of that single reason, I was not selected in IBM. Later on, the same interviewer asked my brother also in the company. By the time, Durga sir is also a fresher. Just 1 year of experience person in the IBM. But myself is a fresher. The same interviewer asked to that my brother, then why your my brother has given this type of information? That's why I not selected. I didn't selected him. So too much personal information is also not suggestible to that interviewer. Not required, first of all. Professional information only we have to tell to that interviewer. What interviewer is required, up to that only you have to give. About your girlfriend's information, about your family members, too much information is not required. Sir, got it or not? I think so. This might be useful information. That's why I given this information to you. Just leave it, guys. Leave it. Now come for our content here. What next one here? How many differences we completed, sir, so far? How many differences we completed? 3 differences we completed. What are the 3 differences now? Tell me. First one is what? C and C++ are static programming languages, whereas Java is what? Dynamic programming language. Second one is what? C preprocessor is required in C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in Java. Then what's the third one? C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what? Platform independent programming language. Yes, sir. Why you are not responding for me? Tell me what is the first difference now? C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what? Dynamic programming language. Second one is what? Preprocessor is required in C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in Java. Then what is the third one? C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what? Platform independent programming language. That's okay, fine. And the fourth difference is also be very, very important. Everybody must concentrate on it. What is this fourth difference now? Pointers are required. Pointers are existed in C and C++, but Pointers are not existed in Java. Pointers are existed in C and C++, but pointers are not existed in Java. Right, sir. All of you, observe carefully. Pointers are existed in C and C++, but pointers are not existed in Java. Right, sir. Before understanding pointers are existed or not existed in C, C++, Java, first we have to understand what is pointer. What is pointer? What is the nature of the pointer? That we have to understand. At least we need to understand the definitions. Are now tell me, what is this pointer actually? What is this pointer actually? Pointer is a variable, it able to store address locations of the data structures, where the data structures may be a variable, an array, or another pointer variable. Sir, got my point or not? Tell me what is the definition I have given there. Now tell me what is pointer. Pointer is a variable, it able to store what? It able to store what? Address locations of the data structures, where the data structures may be a variable, or maybe an array, or maybe struct, or maybe another pointer variable. In general, variables are storing data. Variables are able to store data. For example, int I is equal to 10 I have given. Here what is data actually? 10 is the data. Here what is variable now? I is a variable. I stores a 10 value at a memory location. 2 bytes of memory will be allocated. In the 2 bytes of memory, 10 is the data that will be stored. That the name of the variable, name of the memory is what? I. But for that memory, address location is available or not? That address locations are stored by which variables now? Pointer variables. Address locations are stored by which variables now? Pointer variables. Sir, all of you are following or not? Tell me once again what I'm asking there. What is pointer variable now? Tell me. Pointer is a variable, it able to store address locations of the data structure. Where what is the data structure now? Data structure may be a variable, maybe an array, or maybe another pointer variable. Got it or not? Okay, fine. I will give one simple analysis, guys. One simple representation. I want to give much clarity on this pointer variable. Let's understand this clearly. I want to declare pointers in C program, sir. Just little bit C code I want to write. Now try to understand this clearly. Int A is equal to 10. That A is which type of variable? Normal variable or pointer variable? Tell me, sir. A is what? Normal variable or pointer variable? A is normal variable or pointer variable? Normal variable, not a pointer variable. Okay. Now, int star P semicolon. Whenever we declare a variable with a star notation, now that variable is called as what? Pointer variable. Pointer variable, I declare this pointer variable P to store the address location of the A variable. I declare this pointer variable P to store the address location of A variable. That means P is equal to percentage A semicolon. Now here, this percentage A is what? What's the meaning of percentage A? Address of A. Percentage A is what? Address of A. That address of A will be stored in which variable now? P variable. Why? Because P variable is which variable? Normal variable or pointer variable? Pointer variable. Because of this reason, address location of A will be stored inside the pointer variable. Okay, wait, let's wait. Let's understand what is going to be happen in compilation if we execute, if we compile this program there. All of you observe carefully. When a compiler encounter this in a section into A is equal to 10, then immediately compiler will assign 2 bytes of memory. Compiler will assign 2 bytes of memory for A variable as per the integer. The data type is what? Integer. For integer, 2 bytes of memory will be assigned there. Then where the data is what? Not 10, for example. But the address location of this memory, 2 bytes of memory is allocated or not? The address location of this memory is what? For example, 1010. 1010 is nothing but what now? Address location of that particular memory. That's okay, fine. This is going to be happen when a compiler compiles into a is equal to 10 semicolon. Okay, for example, when a compiler encounter this intersection, what is that now? Into star p. By seeing the star notation, what compiler is identifying now? Compiler is thinking it's a pointer variable or not? Compiler is thinking it's a pointer variable or not? Then immediately for pointer variable, a block of memory will be allocated. How much is the memory? How much memory is required to store address location? That much of memory will be allocated for pointer variable. That's okay, fine. Pointer variable is allocated. Next, when a compiler identifies this intersection, first it will execute this right side part. In every expression, which part will be executed first? No, right side part will be executed. The result of the right side part will be assigned to left side part. Now, first of all, ampersand a. Ampersand a is what now? Address location of a or not? What is that address location of a? 1010. That value will be assigned to the p variable or not? Whenever that value is assigned to the p variable, automatically 1010 will be assigned to p variable. Now p stores that 1010. Now literally we can represent that p variable is referring this particular memory, like memory location or not. Physically, if you want to represent that, p is referring that particular a or not. P is representing address of that a or not. So this is the meaning of like what? No, pointer variable. This is the meaning of like what? No, pointer variable. Understood this point clearly? Let's 2 minutes of time. Let me complete this part here. Then after that I will wind up. Understand it clearly. Now my question is, what is pointer variable? We understood. What is pointer variable? We understood. Okay, fine. Just 1 minute, sir. Ishan, just wait 2 minutes of time. I will clarify your doubt. Don't worry. Just wait 2 minutes of time. Ishan. Okay. Right, sir. Now my question is, why pointers are not existed in Java? Why pointers are existed in C and C++? That's my question. Point number one. Tell me, guys. All of you now tell me. Who has provided memory allocation for A? Who has provided memory allocation for P? Who has calculated address of A? Who has assigned this address value of A to the P variable? Is that by compiler or by C engine? Tell me, compiler or not? Compiler or not? That means compiler is providing memory allocation for the pointer variable or not? Compiler is providing memory allocation for the pointer variable or not? It means that pointers required static memory allocation or not? Pointers required which memory allocation? Static memory allocation. Now tell me, Java is following which memory allocation? Dynamic memory allocation. Is there any possibility to use pointers in Java? Are these pointers are suitable to Java? Not suitable. Why? Because pointers required static memory allocation, but Java does follows what now? Dynamic memory allocation. This is point number one. Point number two, pointers are supported by static programming languages, but Java is what? Dynamic programming language. So pointers are not suitable in Java. Point number three, pointers are very much suitable in platform dependent programming languages. Pointers are very much suitable in platform dependent programming languages. But what is this Java now? Java is what? Platform dependent or platform independent? Platform independent programming language. So because of this reason also, pointers are not suitable inside the Java. Reason number 4. Please remember all these reasons now. Interviewer may ask this question to you. Why pointers are suitable in C and C++? Why pointers are not suitable in Java? There we have to answer for this now. Now tell me, sir, what is that fourth reason here? Observe carefully. Might be all studied that C programming language in the BTech, any branch in BTech, or maybe in MCA, or some of you are not having touch on C programming language also. Don't worry for that. I'm explaining the same C concepts, how much I required. Now, those who already learned a C programming language in our academics, straightly I'm asking one question to you. Now try to answer for it. In our entire C programming language, which feature is the most confusion oriented feature? Now we are talking about pointers. That's why you have to say pointers, no? Now we are discussing about pointers. That's why your answer is pointers, no? Not like that. Not like that. Think real. Think really. Which feature is the most confusion-oriented feature? Generally, pointers only. I will give not because of this reason. I'll give some other reason. In a pointers, two types of pointers are available: single level pointer, multi level pointer. Single level pointer is this, as it is, one time reference only directly. But multi level pointer is what? One pointer is referring address of another pointer is referring address of another pointer is referring address of another pointer, and finally that last pointer is referring data. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? So one pointer is referring address of another pointer is referring address of another pointer is referring address of another pointer, last pointer is referring data. Get my point or not? When we go for this multi-level pointers, no, definitely we are going to get confusion. If it is one or two levels, it's okay, we can trace it. If it is like 10th level or 15th level or 20th level, definitely it is not possible for us to trace it. There definitely confusion will be generated. There definitely confusion might be generated. So because of this reason also we can conclude pointers is a bit confusion oriented programming language. Sorry, pointers is a bit confusion oriented feature. Because of all these reasons we can conclude pointers is what now? A bit confusion oriented feature. But tell me guys, Java is a simple programming language or not? Tell me, Java is a simple programming language or not? If Java is a simple programming language, it should not allow pointers concept or not? It should not allow all confusion oriented features or not? Because of this reason only, pointers are not at all suitable in the case of what? Java. Now I'm asking one question to all of you. Now tell me, why pointers are suitable in C and C++? Why pointers are not suitable in Java? Now tell me, what is reason number one I given? Pointers required which memory allocation? Static memory allocation. But Java follows what? Dynamic memory allocation. C and C++ are following what? Static memory allocation. So pointers are suitable in C and C++. Pointers are not suitable in Java. Point number two, pointers are supported by static programming languages. But Java is what? Dynamic programming language. C and C++ are what? Static programming languages. Pointers are suitable in a static C and C++. Pointers are not suitable in Java. Point number three, pointers are very much suitable to platform dependent programming languages. But Java is what? Platform independent programming language. But C and C++ are what? Platform dependent programming languages. Pointers are suitable in C and C++, but pointers are not suitable in the case of what? Java. Next one, pointers is a confusion oriented programming feature. Pointers is a confusion oriented feature, but Java is what? A simple programming language. So but C and C++ was a bit difficult programming language or not when compared with Java? So pointers are suitable in the case of C and C++. Pointers are not suitable in the case of what? Java. Yes, sir. All of you understood or not? Right, so now this is what exactly the content here, but still this point is not completed. Then after this, I need to talk about the pointer variables from C and C++, reference variables in Java. I have to discuss more about this content here. So that information I will discuss with you tomorrow. Right, sir. That information I discuss with them tomorrow. Tomorrow on sharp, come to the class exactly on time. I will start the class now. If any 5 minutes delay, if I take the class now, definitely 5 minutes will be extended. 15 minutes if I take the delay, definitely 15 minutes will be extended. Don't worry for that. As it is 1.5 hour of time, that class must be happened. Think about it, right? Tomorrow, as is will meet, and tomorrow is also important topic. Why? Because tomorrow we'll talk about like what? Multiple inheritance is not existed in Java. Why? Multiple inheritance is possible in some other programming languages, but it is not existed in Java. Why? That point we are going to understand. Differences between reference variable and pointer variable we are going to understand. If it is possible, if time is permitted for me, then I will talk about operator overloading is not possible in Java. Why? That information also we are going to understand. Majority of the differences we are going to be covered on tomorrow. So don't miss the tomorrow's class. Everybody has to come for the tomorrow's class, guys. Thank you. Tomorrow we'll meet. Thanks a lot. Yes, guys, and those who are in online, have any queries, guys? Shall we have any queries? Ishan, please ask to me. Then what you have asked there? Required. That everything could be managed by operating system or not? Because of that, in same operating system, same piece in the sense, same RAM will come or not? Exactly. That memory allocations I'm telling there. That memory allocations, same memory allocations might be required at runtime. How we are able to get same memory allocations at runtime when we use the same piece? Then only it is possible. Otherwise, it's not possible. That's why it is platform dependent. Okay. Maybe chances are available, but these one or two, these basic level questions are for freshers, no? But interviewer may ask the same questions in a different directions. Yeah, project and as well as the higher technologies majorly. So not from these basics, object orientation is there in Java. From that you are able to get more number of questions. Collection framework is there. From that you are able to get more number of questions. Similarly, like advanced Java or maybe frameworks, from that you are able to get more number of questions. Anyway, by days goes on, definitely I will talk in classroom. By days goes on, automatically you are able to get more. Okay, that's it. 1 minute. Srikanth, 1 minute. Sadanand, 1 minute. I will clarify. I will clarify. Don't worry. Mm. Mm. No, no. Whatever the operating system we have used, again, same operating system if we use for this, then it is a platform dependent. C, C++. Exactly. But here the scenario is what, even though we have used Windows here, but here also we have used Windows now. But we cannot say it is a C or C++. It is not platform dependent. Why? Because even though we are using Windows operating system, but what is the scenario here? Conversion is required or not separately. So that's why it is what now platform independent. Not only this one, not only this combination, we can check with all the combinations. Then by that we can conclude it is a platform independent. Okay, thank you. Mm. No, 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 no. Initially, few days of time only Java. Then later on we'll start the remaining course also. Maybe in the next month, the first week, maybe Oracle will start. Next, parallelly, your technologies will start. Maybe after 40 days of time, I will start advanced Java at morning 7 time. So almost all 4 to 5 classes parallelly you are going to attend. But initially, step by step, we are going to take. No, so initially core Java classes up to 20 to 25 days of time. Then afterwards, everything. Daily maximum. Yeah, 4 classes. But step by step, we are planning. No? Then better. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Mm, mm, mm. No, in general, what I'm doing is just as a common sense related point. No, majority of the viruses related softwares will come in the form of .exe file. No, no, forget about it. Forget about the platform dependence or independence. What I'm telling there, in general, for example, myself is some other person. I want to harm your computer. I want to release one. I want to introduce one virus to your computer. Which file format is a simple for me to introduce virus? No, .exe file. So that means more chances are available to introduce viruses through .exe file, but lesser chances are available to introduce virus-related software through .class file. So that's why .exe file is providing less security, and .class files are providing more security. Mm. Mm. Ampersand also we can write. But in for our understanding purpose, I have taken the two steps now. Directly star b is equal to ampersand also we can provide direct. Maybe it's going in right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Srikanth and Nagoor, okay, currently I worked in a HCL company. 8 months back, I joined as an Android developer. Okay, nice. Is Android development has a future, sir? Definitely, mobile application development is always having feature. Don't worry, Srikanth. Yeah, mobile platform is good, and mobile platform JTM is also available, but it doesn't have any demand in outside. Android is okay, iPhone is okay. Then better you can continue with that. Better you can continue with that. Android is also going on good. Mobile application development is always required thing. Everybody. Okay, then you can continue with that, Srikanth. Don't worry. Sir, why dot class files is not following the Windows operating system representations? Why? Because Sadanand. Understand it? No? Yeah, Southern, 1 minute. Why dot class file is not to follow the Windows operating system? Why? Because the dot class files are having bytecode. No, the nature of the bytecode is a neutral code, neutral to operating systems, and it is an intermediate code. As an intermediate code, it is not having any of the operating systems. In that way, only Java people have designed the dot class file. Understand it, Sadanand? In this way only, that some people have prepared the Java programming language. Okay. Right, sir. That's the reason why dot class files are not dependent. Okay, good. And the next one is 1 minute, Shravani. For complete Java timing will be the same, right? 10 to 11:30 am. No, no, no. Shravani. Next few days after, I will take this core Java class at 10 o'clock. Later on, core Java classes will be shifted to 8:30 to 10 o'clock within 1 week to 10 days of time. Then complete Java package is going on majorly at morning time only, 7 to 8:30. After a few days of time, 7 to 8:30 I will take advanced Java. 8:30 to 10 core Java I'm going to continue. Maybe in the future, maybe 10 to 11:30 or 11:31, maybe some other class are going to be happen. I will give that schedule when the class are going to be start. But at present, core Java up to few days after I'm taking it at 10 o'clock. Later on, I'll take that same core Java class at 8:30 to 10 o'clock. After a few days of time, after 1 month of time, maybe after 40 days of time, I'll start advanced Java at 7 to 8:30. So majorly at morning class only I'm going to take. Okay. No Telegram group, sir. Srikanth. Ready how to tackle company assignment codes also. That means maximum I used to take some mini projects in our classes there, depending on the topic. And the topic was I will plan for some exactly what's going to be happen in the companies there, in which standards we have to prepare the code. The same kind of application development I will show inside the classroom. By that we are able to complete any type of task in our company. Akshata. Okay, right. 1 minute. We'll go step by step only core Java, then advanced Java. So first core Java, after completion of 40 days of core Java, then advanced Java. After completion of either of this core Java and advanced Java, then I will start Hibernate, Spring, web services and all. Okay, then 2 slots I fixed for Java, 7 to 8:30 and 8:30 to 10. These 2 slots are meant for Java. Okay, then parallelly 2 courses are going to be started. Once if I complete one course at one time, there the next course will be started there. In this way, in 2 slots, I am going to utilize for Java only. Right. అంటే పాయింట్ ఇక్కడ ఇప్పుడు మీరు ల్యాన్ సిస్టమ్ ఉన్నా సరే మీరు డైరెక్ట్గా కోడ్ని కాపీ చేసి మీరు వేరే సిస్టమ్ మీద మళ్ళీ రన్ చేయాలంటే కంపల్ చేయాల్సిందే. ఇక్కడ కావాల్సిన సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇది లినక్స్ అనుకోండి, లినక్స్ బేస్డ్ సి సాఫ్ట్వేర్ మీరు ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోవాల్సిందే. చేసుకుని మళ్ళీ దాన్ని మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ కంపైల్ చేసి మరి ఇక్కడ రన్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే సర్వర్ దగ్గర మీరు ఎంటైర్ అప్లికేషన్ పెట్టారు, నేను క్లయింట్ దగ్గర చేంజ్ చేసిన జస్ట్ అప్లికేషన్ యాక్సెస్ చేసిన, అది డిఫరెంట్. యాక్సెస్ చేయటువంటి మీనింగ్ ఏంటి, రిక్వెస్ట్ పంపిస్తే సర్వర్ దగ్గర ఉండే ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయ్యి మనకి ఓన్లీ రిజల్టే వస్తుంది. అంటే కంప్లీట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయితే మీకు సర్వర్ దగ్గరే, క్లయింట్ దగ్గరికి ఏం రాదు. క్లయింట్ అనేది బ్రౌజర్ అంతే, జస్ట్ రిక్వెస్ట్ పంపిస్తున్నాం, ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది, రెస్పాన్స్ వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయాలి అంటే బ్రౌజర్ కాబట్టి మీకు ఎట్లాంటి ఇష్యూ లేదు, యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. కానీ మీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ రన్ అవుతుంది ఇక్కడ సర్వర్ దగ్గర, అక్కడే కంపైల్ అయిపోయింది, అక్కడే ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో అది సింగిల్ సిస్టమ్ మీద మీరు నడిపిస్తున్నారు దానంతా. అవును, అవును, ఉండదు. అదే ఇక్కడ పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే ఆ అప్లికేషన్ రన్ అయితే మీకు అక్కడే రన్ అవుతుంది, కానీ దాని సర్వీస్ మీరు తెచ్చుకుంటున్నారు అంతే. అంతమించి దాని ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఇక్కడ లేదు, మీకు అక్కడే ఉంది. దాని సర్వీస్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దాని సర్వీస్ కన్జ్యూమ్ చేసుకుని దాని రిక్వైర్డ్ రెస్పాన్స్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు, ఆ రెస్పాన్స్ మీరు యూజ్ చేసుకుంటున్నారు వేరే దాని. కంపల్సరీ ఉండాల్సింది అంతే. విత్ ఇన్ 1 hour you will get, sir, same class video. Right, sir. చెప్పారు మీరు ఏ టాపిక్ అండి? మళ్ళీ చెప్తాను. అది రేపు, అది ఇంకా నేను పెండింగ్ పెట్టాను, అది కావాలనే రేపు ఇంకోసారి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను. 400 చేంజ్ ఉంటుంది. అవునవును. క్లాస్ విన్న తర్వాత అదే క్లాస్ విన్న తర్వాత చదవండి, బెటర్, ఇంకొంచెం బెటర్ ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే మీరు ముందు చదివితే మీరు కంప్లీట్ డిఫరెంట్ ఫీల్డ్ కదా, అర్థం కాదు. అవును, క్లాస్ నేను క్లియర్గా చెప్పిన తర్వాత అప్పుడేనండి. Dilip, 1 minute. Dilip, and one time talk with Bhavani regarding this issue. Definitely, talk with Bhavani. She will give more clarity on it. Okay, Dilip. Dilip, just talk with Bhavani. She will give more clarity on it. Dilip Kumar. Okay, right. అంటే అప్పుడే అంటే షెడ్యూల్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఈవినింగ్ టైం అంతా ఏం చేస్తారు? ఒకటి చెప్తాను చూడండి క్లియర్గా. నాకు అర్థమైంది, మీరు అడిగితే నాకు అర్థమైంది. లేదు, అట్లేం కదా. నేను అనేది ఏంటంటే, ఇక మనం తప్పదు, ఈ కోర్సెస్ అన్ని కూడా ఇట్లా చేయాలి, లేదంటే మీకు 2 years పట్టుద్ది. నేను అంటే ఇక్కడ నేను ఒక ఆప్షన్ చెప్తాను. అంటే నేను అందుకని ఇక్కడ ఒక రిలాక్సేషన్ ఇచ్చాను అందరికి. ఒకటి 2 points ఉన్నాయి. ఒకటి, నేను చెప్పిన షెడ్యూల్ అన్న ఫాలో అవ్వండి. జావా మాత్రం ఇది ఫిక్స్డ్ ఎవరికైనా సరే. రిమైనింగ్ కోర్సెస్కి నేను ఒక షెడ్యూల్ ఇస్తా, అదైనా ఫాలో అవచ్చు. లేదా అది కొంచెం టఫ్ అయింది అనుకుంటే, మార్నింగ్ టు ఈవినింగ్ క్లాసెస్ జరుగుతూనే ఉంటాయి, ఈ బ్యాచ్ స్టార్ట్ అయితేనే ఉంటాయి. ఎనీ టైం ఏ బ్యాచ్ అనౌన్స్ అయినప్పుడు ఒకసారి ఐడెంటిఫై చేయండి, మీకు కావాల్సిన కూడా జాయిన్ అయిపోండి. ఇది మీకు అప్ టు 1 year వరకు ఛాన్స్ ఉంటుంది, దానిలో ఏమి రిస్ట్రిక్షన్స్ ఏమిలో. ఒకటే నేనైతే రోడ్ మ్యాప్ ఇస్తాను టైం టు టైం. ఒకవేళ కంఫర్ట్ ఉంటే దీనిలో రండి, లేదనుకోండి మీకు ఏ కంఫర్ట్లో మీకు బ్యాచ్ ఉంటుందో దానిలో చేసుకోండి. నేను పెట్టింది ఏంటంటే, నా థింకింగ్ ఏంటంటే, మార్నింగ్ మొత్తం క్లాసెస్ విన్నారనుకోండి, మీరేం చిన్నపిల్లలు ఏం కాదు కదా. మార్నింగ్ మొత్తం క్లాస్ అంటే ఇంకా ఈవినింగ్ ప్రశాంతంగా 1 hour 2 hours రెస్ట్ తీసుకొని మళ్ళీ సిస్టమ్ మీద కూర్చుంటే నైట్ 8 to 10 వరకు కూడా చేస్తూ ఉంటారు వీళ్ళందరూ. ఇక అందుకని ఆ టైం అంతా అట్లా స్పెండ్ చేస్తున్న ఉద్దేశంతో నేను ఏం చేస్తాను, జనరల్గా మార్నింగ్ క్లాసులు పెడుతున్నాను ఈ బ్యాచ్కి. మళ్ళీ నేను ఈవినింగ్ మళ్ళీ ఫుల్ స్టాక్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను. వాళ్ళంతా ఈవినింగ్ క్లాసెస్కి వస్తారు, మార్నింగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్కి వెళ్ళిపోతారు. అట్లా అంటే ఇక మీ కండిషన్ ఏం లేదు, ఓన్లీ నేను చెప్పిన షెడ్యూల్ రావాలని ఏం లేదు. మార్నింగ్ టు ఈవినింగ్ క్లాసెస్ అన్నీ స్టార్ట్ అయితేనే ఉంటాయి. మీరు ఒకవేళ నేను చెప్పిన షెడ్యూల్ ఫాలో అయితే ఓకే, నడుస్తుంది. లేదనుకోండి, ఏ టైంలో బ్యాచెస్ అన్ని అనౌన్స్ అయితేనే ఉంటాయి కంటిన్యూస్గా. ఏ టైంలో మీకు పాసిబుల్ ఆ టైం అటెండ్ అవ్వచ్చు. మీకు దగ్గర 1 year టైం ఉంటుంది, ఇబ్బంది ఏం లేదు ఈ ప్యాకేజెస్లో. కాబట్టి టైమింగ్ సరిపోదు. అవునవును, ఇబ్బంది లేదు చూద్దాం. లేదండి, పర్లేదు చెప్పండి. 2010. దేని మీద చేశారు ఈ టైంలో? యా, అంటే ఇక్కడ పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే, మీకు నియర్లీ 10 years మీరు ఏదో వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు, నాట్ రిలేటెడ్ టు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇండస్ట్రీ. నేనేమంటానంటే, ఇప్పుడు కోర్సెస్ మీ ప్రాసెస్ ఎట్లా ఉండాలంటే, ఇక్కడ కోర్సెస్ నేర్చుకున్న తర్వాత మీరు ఒక 6 months 7 months కష్టపడి నేర్చుకున్న తర్వాత లాస్ట్ 3 to 4 years వరకే మీరు ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ పెట్టగలుగుతారు. అది కూడా ఫేక్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, మీ రిలేటివ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ కాదు, మీరు ఏదో వర్క్ చేసారు దానిలోది కాదు. ఇక్కడ మన సాఫ్ట్వేర్ సైడ్ ఒక ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ పెట్టేస్తాం మనం. జనరల్గా బయట జరిగేదంతా ఇదే. లాస్ట్ 3 to 4 years వరకే పెట్టాలి. మోర్ దెన్ 5 years పెడితే నాట్ మేనేజబుల్. ఈవెన్ నేను ఇక్కడ చెప్పేది కూడా మాక్సిమం 4 to 5 years వాళ్ళకి ఎంతైతే నాలెడ్జ్ అవసరం అవుతుందో ఫ్రెషర్ టు అప్పటి వరకు నేను చెప్తాను. క్లాస్ నా కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ మొత్తం అప్పుడు దాకా వెళ్తుంది. మీరు కంఫర్టబుల్గా 3 to 4 years అయితే హ్యాపీగా పెట్టేసుకోవచ్చు. 5th year ఓకే, అండ్ మోర్ దెన్ 5 years అంటే నాట్ సజెస్టబుల్. ఎందుకంటే ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ వేరే లెవెల్లో ఉంటాయి. ఇక మనం మేనేజ్ చేయలేము. అది ఒకటి. మీ ప్రీవియస్ ఈ లాస్ట్ 10 years అంటే 7 years ఆఫ్ టైం ఏం చేశారని పక్కన పెట్టండి. లాస్ట్ 3 years మీరు ఏదైతే ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ పెడతారో అది కన్సిడరబుల్ కంపెనీస్లో. అదే కానీ మీరు 10 years ఇండస్ట్రీ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ కానీ పెడితే మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళు రికగ్నైజ్ చేస్తారు అదంతా కూడా. లాస్ట్ 3 years 4 years పెడతారు కదా ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, అది ఆ కంపెనీ వాళ్ళు రికగ్నైజ్ చేస్తారు. దాన్ని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని మిమ్మల్ని అడిగినా కూడా అడుగుతారు ఛాన్సెస్ అంతే. నేను ప్రీవియస్గా వేరే దాని మీద వర్క్ చేశాను. ఐ లెర్న్ జావా పర్ఫెక్ట్లీ అండ్ ఐ వర్క్డ్ విత్ దిస్ కంపెనీ. స్విచ్ అయ్యాను, ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసాను. నా లాస్ట్ 3 years ఆ కంపెనీలో చేశాను. యూ కెన్ చెక్ ఇట్. అంతే. ఇక్కడ పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ మీరు డెలైట్లో మీకు ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లెటర్ వస్తుంది కదా, మీ వస్తుంది కదా లెటర్ వస్తుంది కదా, రిలీవింగ్ లెటర్ అవన్నీ. దానిలో ఏం స్పెసిఫై చేశారు మీ డిజిగ్నేషన్ అది? ఆ- అది చేయగలిగితే, అది మీరు కనుక కన్వే చేయగలిగితే 3 years అదే చూపించండి. డెలైట్ అంత మంచి కంపెనీ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఉంటే కళ్ళు మూసుకుని ఇచ్చేస్తారు జాబ్ ఎవరైనా. అది మీరు కన్వే చేయగలిగితే క్లియర్గా అదే పెట్టుకోవచ్చు యాస్టీస్గా. లేదంటే మీ డెలైట్లో ఏదన్నా మేబీ ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటే ఆ డిజిగ్నేషన్ ఏదన్నా యాస్టీస్ డెవలపర్కి ఏది ఉంటుందో అది కనుక మీరు కనుక ప్లాన్ చేసుకొని వచ్చారంటే ఇంకంతా క్లియర్. ఇక నాలెడ్జ్ అనేది నథింగ్. నాలెడ్జ్ అనేది ఎవరైనా 3 years అంటే less than 3 years ఇది కూడా ఫ్రెష్. పెద్ద దాని గురించి వరి చేయాల్సిన పని లేదు. 10 lakhs మేబీ ఉండొచ్చు, డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ కంపెనీ అండి. మనం ఏం చేయాలి, డెలైట్ అంటే బాగానే ఇచ్చారు, బాగానే ఉంది, కానీ అన్ని కంపెనీలు ఇవ్వకపోవచ్చు. ఈవెన్ ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కొంత మిడిల్ లెవెల్ కంపెనీస్ ఉంటాయి. చిన్న కంపెనీస్ ఎప్పుడు మనీ ఎక్కువ ఇస్తాయి, పెద్ద కంపెనీలు తక్కువ ఇస్తాయి జనరల్గా. డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ కంపెనీ, వాళ్ళ ఏ పే స్కేల్ ఎట్లా ఉంటుందో దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకుని వస్తుంది మనకి. ఇక కాకపోతే మనకి 3 years లాస్ట్ అక్కడ మనం రెజ్యూమ్లో పెట్టేది ఏంటంటే నేను లాస్ట్ 3 years 4 years ఒక 7 lakhs per annum 8 lakhs per annum పెడతాము. మనం ఏదైతే పెట్టిందో దాని మీద మనం అడుగుతాం. 25% 30% లేదా 50% అడుగుతాం. అక్కడ ఆ సిచ్యువేషన్ బట్టి మనం ప్లాన్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఉమ్, ఉమ్, ఉమ్. యా, డెఫినెట్గా, డెఫినెట్గా. దానిలో అసలు మీకు డౌటే లేదు. దానిలో మీకు ఈ ఫండమెంటల్ క్లాస్ చెప్తున్నా ఇవి అర్థమవుతుంది కదా క్లియర్గా. దీనిలో ఏం లేదండి, ఇక స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ ఇట్లా వెళ్ళిపోతూ ఉంటాం. ఇబ్బంది ఏం లేదు, ప్లాన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇక్కడ దుర్గా సాఫ్ట్లో అసలు క్వశ్చన్ ఉండదు. అట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది క్లాస్ మీకు టోటల్గా ఏమైపోతుందంటే అట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది క్లాస్ వచ్చేసి అంత క్లాస్లో 70% ఆఫ్ ది మెంబర్స్ అందరూ కూడా ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ కోసం చూసేవాళ్ళే ఉంటారు. సో ఆటోమేటిక్గా మీకు తెలిసిపోతాయి అన్ని, మీ ఆటోమేటిక్ మీరు వెళ్ళిపోతూ ఉంటారు అందులో పడిపోయి, అంతే, అంతమించి ఏం లేదు. రైట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఒకసారి కనుక్కోండి, అది ఆన్లైన్ టీమ్ వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడాలి. ఆన్లైన్ టీమ్ సపరేట్ ఉంటుంది ఇక్కడ. ఆన్లైన్ చెప్తున్నా, నేను జావా వరకు చెప్తా. ఆన్లైన్ అని ఆఫ్లైన్ రెండు జావా వరకు నేను చెప్తా. కోర్ జావా, అడ్వాన్స్ జావా, హైబర్నెట్, స్ప్రింగ్ బూట్, మైక్రో సర్వీస్, వెబ్ సర్వీస్ వరకు నేను చెప్తా. రిమైనింగ్ కోర్సెస్ ఉంటాయి కదా, ఆన్లైన్లో ఒక ఫ్యాకల్టీ వేరే ఫ్యాకల్టీ చెప్తారు, ఆఫ్లైన్ ఇంకో వేరే ఫ్యాకల్టీ చెప్తారు. వాళ్ళు సపరేట్. నాదంటే రెండు ఆన్లైన్ అండ్ ఆఫ్లైన్ ఎట్ టైం నడుస్తున్నాయి. సో నేను జావా స్ట్రీమ్ వరకు నేను తీసుకుంటాను మేజర్ పార్ట్. రిమైనింగ్ వచ్చేసి ఆఫ్లైన్లో వేరే ట్రైనర్స్ అండ్ ఆన్లైన్లో వేరే ట్రైనర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఆన్లైన్లో అయితే మీకు మార్నింగ్ 6 o'clock టు నైట్ 11 o'clock వరకు బ్యాచెస్ ఉన్నాయి ఆన్లైన్లో. వాటికి మీకు మీ కంఫర్టబుల్ టైం ఎక్కడుంటే అక్కడ అటెండ్ అవ్వచ్చు. ఆఫ్లైన్లో నేను 2 ఆప్షన్స్ ఇచ్చాను. ఒకటి నేను చెప్పిన షెడ్యూల్ అని రావచ్చు, లేదంటే మార్నింగ్ 7 to 9 వరకు క్లాసులు జరుగుతూనే ఉంటాయి, ఎక్కడ కావాలంటే అక్కడ అటెండ్ అయిపోవచ్చు. ఈ 2 ఆప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఆన్లైన్లో కూడా అట్లనే ఆప్షన్ ఉంది. కాదు ఆన్లైన్లో నేను రిమైనింగ్ ట్రైనర్స్ షెడ్యూల్ నేనేం ఇవ్వను. ఇక మార్నింగ్ ఈవినింగ్ క్లాస్ జరుగుతూ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి రిమైనింగ్ కోర్సెస్ ఎక్కడ కావాలంటే అక్కడ జాయిన్ అయిపోవచ్చు. బట్ జావా స్ట్రీమ్ వచ్చేసి 2 classes. 7 to 8:30 and 8:30 to 10. ఈ 10 o'clock నెక్స్ట్ ఫ్యూ డేస్ అండి నడిపించి తర్వాత 8:30కి తీసేసుకుంటాను అంతే. అది క్లియర్. థ్యాంక్ యూ థ్యాంక్ యూ థ్యాంక్ యూ థ్యాంక్ యూ. Just 2 minutes, no? Shravani, just give a minute of time. I'll give clarity. Working as Java developer for past 8 years and working on same project and company. My project is very big project. When we just enhance the changes, still I don't feel any confidence in Java or anything. I'm really looking forward to gain confidence from this course. Right, good. Really looking forward to gain confidence from this course. Actually, I'm in my hometown and I came to Hyderabad Durgasoft office last Friday to meet and ask for suggestions for my problem. Saying for online users, we don't conduct an exam. Okay. Yeah, Shravani, don't worry for that. Don't worry for that. I will share that all the question papers to you. I think somebody else has given misguidelines to you. No, no, no. No difference between offline and online. Whatever the events we are conducting at offline, all the events are going to be conducted at online. Shravani, are you there? Are you listening what I am saying to you? Yeah. So don't worry. Then whatever the exams here I'm conducting, every exam I will share through webinar. Exactly, I will give the schedule. Next Sunday, 10 o'clock. For example, if I give schedule there, if I conduct exam for offline students next Sunday, 10 o'clock, online students must also come at 10 o'clock on webinar. On webinar, I will share that question paper. Then I will give that exact time, half an hour or maybe 1 hour of time. Within that 1 hour, we have to finish that exam and we have to send answer sheet to me. So I will check that answer sheet and I will correct it. Yeah, every event will be conducted in both offline and online. Don't worry for that. If it is a case, then don't think too much about it. Definitely, I will provide environment to you. Okay, Shravani, understand it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's okay, no issues. Okay. Huh. Full stack Java, impossible within 2 months. Huh? Even to complete core Java, it may take nearly 3 months of time. To complete only core Java, it may take 3 months of time. I think Aracle or UA technical classes are going to be started. They may be complete within 2 months of time. But core Java itself, it may take nearly 2.5 to 3 months of time minimum. Because a lot of concepts I have to discuss there. I need to discuss about like all versions of Java. Up to Java 18 version, I have to discuss there. Not like Java 6 or Java 7. But initially, I will start programming with Java 6, 7, 8 now. But by days goes on, I have to introduce up to Java 18 version. Present version is Java 18. Up to that version, I have to discuss there. So definitely, concept-wise, more content I have to discuss. It will take some time. Don't think within 1.5 months or 2 months after it's going to be complete in the sense impossible not to complete. But what I'm telling there, if you join with these classes, no, every class is being recorded. Every class videos will be provided to you. Okay, even though it takes more time to complete the core Java, if you leave from Hyderabad in the middle of this course, no, but continuously we'll get videos and we can prepare through videos. Yeah, that opportunity is available. But that opportunity only myself I'm providing at Hyderabad. No other trainer, no other institute is providing that. Okay, so that will be benefit for you. Yeah, then up to how much it is possible for you, you can attend for the classes. You want to leave from the classes there, then okay, we can leave happily. Then everyday recording will be provided to your Google Drive access. Then you can watch it, so that you can complete it. When I'm going to finish it, then you can complete it. Core Java is sufficient. Core Java, Oracle, and UI. Oracle and UI will be completed, damn sure. But Core Java may be almost 70 to 75% of the Core Java will be completed. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm telling there. Only apart from this, if you take any other courses, no, advanced Java might be some other trainer will start there. But myself, I will start maybe after 40 days of time. This advanced Java. Other trainer maybe next week he will start that advanced Java. There also you can attend for it. Then advanced Java is going to be complete within 2 months of time. There also maximum 80 to 90% of the syllabus will be complete within 2 months of time. You can check with that. Huh? Is also be good at Durgasoft. Everybody is good. Attend demo classes anyway. I'm not saying that. Attend demo class, then you can decide. So you're attending my demo classes. Similarly, attend demo. 2 to 3 days of demo class are free. You can check that faculty also. If you are comfortable with him, you can join with it. Okay, right. Basic package is better. Basic package, core Java, advanced Java, UI and Oracle. UI and Oracle will start maybe first week of next month. Within 10 days it will start. And advanced Java also next week might be is going to start other trainer. Core Java you can continue with these classes there. Up to how long you are going to be available here, then you can attend there. When you are leaving from Hyderabad, you will get videos there. Then we can finish it. Okay, fine. Thank you. Fine, fine. Ha ha ha. Shravani, that's okay. Then Geeta, I think you are getting answer for my question there. Which version of Java do you teach? That means up to Java 18 version. I thought of it. I want to teach. Even though I call the institute, there is no response from the institute, and there is no callback. Satvik, just we can talk with me. Then what do you teach until Java 18? Exactly, Geeta. Up to Java 18, I'm teaching. Time duration for this batch is what? Nearly 2.5 to 3 months of time. I'm planning. Maybe 10 to 15 days of more or less. I can finish it. So on around we can keep it is 30 days of time. Sorry, 3 months of time it may take core Java. Geeta, no. Durgasar is not. No, Durgasar class are not started. Yeah, then regarding Durgasar classes might be then you are asking to me. Then better to send request mail to Durgasoft online training at gmail.com. They'll give more clarity. About my classes, if you have any problem, then you can talk with me. Durgasar might be is totally busy. Then I don't think so. He's continuing the classes. He's taking the classes. Yeah, Satvik, next few days at time, 1 week to 10 days at time, I'll take the classes at 10 o'clock. After that, I will take the same classes at 8:30, Satvik. 8:30 to 10 core Java, I'm going to take. If you come for the packages, no, I'll give the schedule clearly. If it is only core Java, then next to 10 days of time, I will take at 10 to 10 o'clock. Afterwards, I will take your classes at 8:30. Because of busy schedule, next to 10 days of time, I'm taking class at 10 o'clock only. After that, I will shift this batch to 8:30. 8:30 to 10 o'clock, I will take. Okay, Satvik, this is a clarity. Okay, fine. And Shravani ma'am, no, Shravani ma'am. No, 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 no. Actually, online courses are always costable. More cost is going on for online classes. Previously, for core Java only, people are taking nearly 7,000 or maybe 10,000. Now it is somewhat better, 5,000 at present for core Java and packages also. Always online classes are more costable, but when compared with offline, yeah, offline in the sense, and people have to come here and people have to sit in front of us and they have to stay at Hyderabad, might be some other expenditure. But online classes, no expenditure. At the same time, for online classes, we need to use one separate software. Webinars we have to take. That webinar cost is going to be happen. So because of all these reasons, might be online courses are a bit costful when compared with offline classes.